Hey guys, this is Ash at Audio 46. I hope you guys are enjoying your week so far and enjoying this last bit of summer we have left. But cold weather means that we can hide our jellos in jackets or coats, so it's not too bad, right? Okay, so today I'm going to review Sennheiser IE80S BT, which is the Bluetooth version of IE80S, which is the upgraded version of IE80. So, as always, I'm excited to test this out. Alright, let's start. IE80S BT comes with the earphones, USB-C charging cable, 9 pairs of ear tips, carrying case, cleaning adjustment tool, and manual warranty. Battery life measures a fair 6 hours, but on a standby mode, it remains ready to use for 2 weeks. Lastly, the USB-C charging, the battery only requires an hour and a half to reach the max capacity. Various controls are on the left arm that adjust playback or volume and such, and it also has a voice assistant function. So the design is already very functional for everyday comfort and use, and this neckband kind of rests on your collarbone, so it's a good length. And also this hard rubber exterior feels very durable, so it could probably endure any type of damages. Okay, so the thing about this ear hooks, it's very structured, and personally I'm a little self-conscious about these type of ear hooks because first, I think I look kind of funny, and second, oftentimes I find it not fitting around my ears properly, but these actually didn't look that funny, I think, and it fit really securely around my ears. And I think it actually could be the favorite part of the design, personally. And in terms of the comfort, they felt really comfortable and all the tips were very sound isolating, so I give it an A+. Okay guys, so you know how we've been having a really good streak in the lows? Sennheiser IE80S BT definitely added on to that. I mean, I think it was one of my top 5 favorite, honestly. So the first thing that I noticed was how quick and controlled the bass response was. So each and every sound in the lows didn't prolong or lag, but instead it gave me a really accurate, exact representation. And it also didn't bleed into other frequencies, which really satisfied me. Okay, so another thing is that the lows was so powerful. It was so powerful, deep, rich, warm, and it was more than enough to satisfy me, like I'm a bass head. And I think it will definitely satisfy you other bass heads. So, virtual high five. But yeah, I didn't want to stop listening to it because the lows were just like near perfection in my opinion. And I feel like the musical role of the bass is to juxtapose or outline the melodic line in harmony or ensemble, or with percussion to support the rhythmic line. And the sound was so accurate, so with these, the bass and the lows just fulfilled that role perfectly. And for that reason, with that being said, I think it sounded good in broad ranges of genres, with instruments like kick drums and hip hop to low keyboard in classic rock and roll like Little Richard's. But I will say it sounded the best with, like, you know, the deep bass like sound of Snoop Dogg. Is it Snoop Lion now? Anyway, Snoop Dogg Lion, that kind of sound to like the percussion in samba music. Okay guys, so the mid-range was very robust but restrained in a good way, and I also noticed how detailed and balanced the sound was. And by balance, I mean with other frequencies too, but more with the sound of instruments and vocals. It was balanced to the point to like doing like 30 single leg kettlebell toe touches without shaking, and that's really hard. And I also noticed that it gives such clarity and power to vocals and instruments at just the right place with just the right amount. So with that being said, I feel like it sounded the best with reggae, folk, 80s new wave music, or funk music, because I feel like those genres bother me the most, at least personally, when the sound of the instruments eat up the sound of vocals or vice versa. Okay guys, so I feel like the high end on these was the only frequencies that I felt like the sound of vocals weren't as powerful as the sound of instruments. So the sound of the vocal was a little controlled and it wasn't bright at all, whereas the sound of the instruments were definitely pronounced and more prominent. But I will say this wasn't necessarily a bad thing because both sounded still clear and very detailed. Okay, so for example, with genres like pop, rock, and folk, or pretty much all the genres, and classical ensemble or choral like Vienna voice, the high-pitched tone of the vocals were kind of soft and a little bit restrained, whereas genres like funk with that occasional high-pitched brass instrument, or classical music with high-pitched strings, the sound of instruments were so realistic and powerful. So one of the songs that I tested was Vivaldi's Summer Concerto No. 2, and I just felt like I had to like scurry around in the castle with like white colonial wigs and just deliver a message or something. It felt so realistic and it pulled me just right into the music. The soundstage on these were definitely not like New York City apartment. It had tons and tons of space and definitely depth too. So I feel like in general it had a good amount of distance between each sound of instruments and vocals, but altogether it really sounded very harmonic and wonderful. So I want to introduce you this playlist, or recommend you this playlist on Spotify called Ambient Musical Genre, because I found the soundstage more prominent in instrumental tracks, and that track will just help you clear your mind if you ever want to just lay in bed and do nothing and think about nothing. My final thoughts. Okay guys, I think you should get it if you can, because I honestly don't see why not. I mean, the only thing was the sound of vocals were a little bit controlled and restrained per se, but honestly didn't really bother me. And if you guys really care about the sound of instruments, this really does a great job at making it sound at its best and really gives you a true, accurate representation. And on top of that, the lows were just like one of my favorites. It was really good. So cherry on top. Okay guys, that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.